a lot of people just kind of sit on their gifts, right? They're not doing anything. They are waiting for things to happen. But it's not enough to know that you're gifted, right? You need to have a strategy. You need to develop a plan, and then you need to manage both of those to multiply the gift and the resources that come along with it. You don't just say you want a house and then the house appears, right? You have to go through the process of designing the house or getting someone to design the house for you. And then you go through the process of building the house, right? Constructing the house. All of this takes time. All of this is a process that needs to happen. But, you put a blueprint in place so that the process is easier to be made, right? To be done. So the same way you do that for the house that you want to build, you have to do that for yourself. My encouragement is to create that blueprint for your life. Nothing is just going to come to you, right? Nothing is just going to be given to you because you're skillful or you're creative or you're educated or you're smart or you speak well. These are things that you have to continue to use and to develop, and then to find a way to get them displayed. All right, welcome to the new episode of the Myles podcast. This is Myles Jr. And as always, the vision and goal of this podcast is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist. Always knowing that those limitations only exist in your mind. All right. Want to plug our Money Global app. Our app is available in both the Google Play and Apple app stores. I encourage you to download the app. It's the place where we house all of our resources, audio and video resources. You are able to communicate and meet the community that we've built through the app. There are a lot of things we are planning on introducing on the app in the months to come. So I would encourage you to download the app now, sign in, register for your account, and just stay abreast on what it is we're doing as an organization, and stay up to date with all of the resources that are on the app currently and the resources that we'll be loading to the app periodically in the future. All right. So today I want to just have a quick conversation about having a blueprint for our lives. And my question I want to pose is, where is your blueprint? With the Money Institute of Leadership, we did a live presentation talking about potential, right? And having potential and understanding our gifts, right? And how do we cultivate and develop these gifts? And just coming out of that live that we did, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe last month, I started to think about, okay, like, what do you do after you discover your gift, you developed your gift, you've identified your gift, you've developed it or discovered it, and then you develop that gift, right? Like, what comes next? And there's a thing that a lot of people just kind of sit on their gift, right? They're not doing anything. They are waiting for things to happen, right? Okay, this is my gift. I'm developing it. I'm honing my gift, but I'm just gonna perfect this and see what happens. But it's not enough to know that you're gifted, right? You need to have a strategy. You need to develop a plan, and then you need to manage both of those to multiply the gift and the resources that come along with it. Having a gift is just a starting point. The Bible says your gift will make room for you in this world, right? But the room doesn't come automatically. The gift not only has to be developed and cultivated, but it has to be displayed, right? And you have to figure out, man, how can I display this gift? What can I do to get my gift in the front of the eyes that it needs to be, that need to see it, or to get in front of or to get under or on top of the money that needs to propel it to higher levels. There's a lot that we can do as gifted individuals, because we all are gifted, right? Let me start there. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has a set of skills. And once we discover and develop those skills, then we need to figure out how to, uh, strategize a plan or create a plan to strategize how to get that gift to where it needs to be. Passion without strategy is just burnout. Vision without structure is just wishful thinking, right? So you can be passionate about something, whether it's a skill or desire or vision that you have, but if you have no strategy behind it, you're gonna burn yourself out, right? Because you're just gonna be working aimlessly. And then you can have a vision for your life, for your businesses, for your family, but if there's no structure in place, if there's no plan or strategy in place for that vision to be executed or for that vision to come to realization, then you're just being wishful with your thinking, right? You're sitting around daydreaming in a sense. There needs to be like a complete and a hard structure, a complete and a hard plan in place for that vision that you have for your life, right? And it takes time, right? It takes a level of patience. It takes a level of, again, discipline, and then a level of strategizing, okay, what it is that I need to do and how I need to do it to, propel myself to that next level. I want to introduce you to the Monroe Global app, the ultimate platform to empower your leadership journey and inspire your purpose-filled life. Access timeless teachings designed to help you grow in every area of your life. From leadership development to personal growth, Monroe Global has it all at your fingertips. With the Monroe Global app, you'll have exclusive access to powerful videos and messages from the legendary Dr. Myles Monroe, a digital library packed with life-changing content right at your fingertips, and a vibrant global community of visionaries, leaders, and change makers just like you. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the office, the Monroe Global app ensures you never miss an opportunity to learn, grow, and lead. Available now on Google Play and the Apple App Store, the Monroe Global app is your gateway to unlocking your potential and impacting your world. Download the Monroe Global app today and take the first steps toward living the life you were born to lead. If you look at David, right? David was anointed to be king when he was a boy, right? You remember the prophet came to David's dad, Jesse, and said, man, you have a son that is the anointed king of our nation, and I just want to bless him, right? So he brought all of his stronger, older, much more what he would determine obvious sons to the prophet to be anointed. And the prophet looked at all of them and was like, nah, none of these are the designated king. Don't you have any other sons? And almost forgetting about David, he was like, oh yeah, I got a boy who out in the field, but it can't be him, right? Because he's just small, frail. And it's just super young, right? There's no way that he's going to be the king. And sure enough, they brought David in front of the prophet, and the prophet said, yes, this is the boy. So he anointed him king. And then what happened after that? David didn't become king instantly, right? It was a process. There was a period where David had to go through training and development, right? And he went back into the fields, tended to his father's sheep, fought off the lions and other animals that tried to attack the flock. Then he went through a period where he, defeated Goliath. Then he became known, and then he became a little celebrated, and still went through the process of training and pruning and working on his skill, but still displaying different aspects of his ability and his potential to the public, and eventually gaining the notoriety to be like, okay, now this kingship that you have been blessed with, like, it can begin, because there's a blueprint to life, right, and to success. So first, you have to have a sense of clarity, right? You have to be clear on who it is that you are and what it is that you can do. The 5 questions of the human heart is a great place to start with this, right? That's who am I? Where am I from? Why am I here? What can I do? And where am I going, right? You answer those questions and you develop a great sense of clarity for your life. Then you need to put some structures in place, right? You kind of build a moral compass for yourself, right? You're building your character, saying what it is that you stand on, what the criteria is that you're going to live by in your life, right? And then you execute this plan, right? Once you put that portion of the blueprint in place, then you execute it, and then you steward everything that you have, right? You steward through the development, the display, and then the celebration of the things that you're building, the things that you're creating. So it's like building a house, right? You don't just say you want a house and then the house appears, right? You have to go through the process of designing the house or getting someone to design the house for you, saying exactly what you want, how you want things to be situated, the size of the house that you want, where you want the house to be located, the positioning you want the house to be set in, all the amenities that you want inside of the house. And then you go through the process of building the house, right? Constructing the house. All of this takes time. All of this is a process that needs to happen. But you put a blueprint in place so that the process is easier to be made, right? To be done. So the same way you do that for the house that you want to build, you have to do that for yourself, right? For your life, for your skill sets, for the gifts that you have. You have to go through a process of like gaining clarity, like the vision that you want to have, putting a structure in place, which is, a large portion of that blueprint, executing that structure, and then stewarding everything that we've been blessed with. Jesus is a great example for this, right? Jesus, one of the things that always stands out to me is that, Jesus's ministry, like his specific ministry, didn't start until he was 30 years old. Not much is really said about the first 30 years of Jesus's life, right? We get bits and pieces of it through the story of the Bible, but we can assume that, Jesus was going through his process, right? His process of development, his process of training, his process of gaining the level of responsibility and the level of credibility that he needed in order for him to serve his purpose, right? He went through 30 years of training, 30 years of preparation to have a strong 3 years of ministry, right? And those 3 years still affect us even today. He had clarity on his purpose, right? He knew why he was here. He put a structure in place to where, these first 30 years was going to prepare me for before my ministry, right? Then the execution was in the 3 years of his ministry, and then stewarding the resources was him discipling the persons that were following him. Not just the 12 disciples, right? But everyone else, right? Putting something in place that, we were able to learn from and still are able to learn from to this day.
Do you feel like there's more to life than what you're experiencing? That deep down, you're meant for something greater? It's time to stop wondering and start discovering. At the Monroe Institute of Leadership, we believe every person carries a unique purpose, a calling designed specifically for you. Our transformative courses, Discover Purpose and Unlock Your Potential, are crafted to help you uncover that purpose and equip you with the tools to step confidently into your destiny. These powerful courses are for leaders, entrepreneurs, students, and visionaries like you. Through proven principles and actionable insights, you will clarify your vision and set bold goals. You will identify your strengths and passions. You will overcome the barriers holding you back, and you will step boldly into your God-given potential. Our expert facilitators draw from timeless and tested principles, blending practical strategies with kingdom truths to empower you to lead a life of purpose, impact, and transformation. The world needs what you have to offer. Don't let another day pass without unlocking the greatness within you. Visit our website, themill.org, and register today. The Monroe Institute of Leadership. Renew your mind, and transform a generation.
So if Jesus himself, right, the most perfect human being in the world, and who is the Son of God, right, the Creator, if he goes through or has to go through this process or went through this process, right, 30 years of pretty much not being known, right, just preparing for, these strong 3 years of his life, and these 3 years that would really change the hands of time, right, and propel the world, to propel an entire generation into just a new sphere of life, and really serve the purpose that he was meant to serve, right? It took time for that to happen, but there was a plan in place, even back when everything happened, right? So you go back to the Garden of Eden, when man was tempted and we fell, right, as human beings. Even then, the Creator put a plan in place. There was a blueprint in place to say, all right, Satan, the same woman that you use to cause my creation to fall, that's the same woman I'm going to use to gain my creation back. So there was a plan in place, and even that plan took hundreds of years, right? And my encouragement is to create that blueprint for your life. Nothing is just going to come to you, right? Nothing is just going to be given to you because you're skillful, or you're creative, or you're educated, or you're smart, or you speak well. These are things that you have to continue to use and to develop, and then to find a way to get them displayed, right? One of the best things that we can do as individuals with gifts is to give our gifts away, give our skills away. That's the easiest way, and I think the most unique way, at least the first step that we can take to get the notoriety, or to get the recognition of our skill sets, of our gifts, right? And then from giving it away, you gain a sense of a bit of popularity. People get to know you, then people start coming to you for what it is that you want to do. And giving away could look many different ways, right? Whether you give it away to members of your family, give it away to members of your neighborhood, in your community, you give it to your church family, your school family, your professional family. There are things that you can do to, once you've developed your skill set and developed your gift, to now present that in many ways for those skills and those gifts to be realized and recognized by others. But it's not going to just come to you. Like I said, the Bible says your gift will make room for you, but that room isn't automatic. The room comes after you've shown yourself that you are skillful, that you are gifted, but then you also provide a platform, or you create a platform for yourself to display those gifts. My dad always said that, the most wealthiest spot on earth is the graveyard, right? And part of the reason why isn't just that people died without discovering or realizing their gifts, because I'm sure there are people who have died that they did realize and discover their gifts, but that's all they did. They didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything with that revelation of their lives, of their purpose, of their skill sets, of their potential, right? I think the onus is on us to, once we discover what it is that we do best, or the things that we do best, figure out how we can get those out to the public, right? And this, what I'm doing here with this podcast, this is a level of giving and presenting, the skill sets that I have, the expertise, my experience that I've gone through over the years, and just sharing these principles with everyone, right? This is a stepping stone for me to continue to, just gain access to more resources and a larger network that God has for me. But I'm stewarding what I have now first, and that's where the start needs to begin. But you can't do that without having a blueprint in place, all right? So my encouragement is to just write it on paper, man, get it all down, right? The goal isn't just to discover and develop the skills, discover and develop your potential, the goal is also to get that potential out, right? It's like creating a product. You don't just create a product or offer a service and then just sit back and wait for people to come. No, you have to market that. You have to talk about it. You have to sell it. You got to put it out there, right? And that's what the blueprint does for us, not only individually or personally, but professionally as well. So that's my encouragement to you. As you continue to learn new skills, develop new skills for yourself, at the same time, put a blueprint together for you to get or be able to get those skills in the front of the people, in front of the eyes that they need to be in front of. And, who knows what could happen, man. Our lives can change overnight just by making one right decision, right? Hitting record, taking a picture and posting it, just putting something out to the public and just letting the dominoes fall where they may. But just know that you need to do your part in the entire process. All right, so with that, I want to leave with you milestone for today, right? Today's milestone is very simple. Don't just pray over your gift, plan for it, right? Don't just wait to be discovered. Position yourself for that discovery. And don't just talk about your calling, build around it. All of these things we need to do and continue to do as we discover and develop our skill sets, right? Because, like I said earlier, our gift will make room for us, but the room is not automatic. That room being presented to us is all dependent on the work that we put in, right? The blueprint that we put down and the execution of that plan to get our work in front of the eyes that they need to be in front of for our success to be achieved. All right. So that's my encouragement to you today. Where is your blueprint? Have you really sat down and created a blueprint for your life, detailing every aspect of it? And if you haven't, I'm encouraging you to do just that. All right. As always, the vision and goal of this podcast is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist. Always knowing that those limitations only exist in your mind. All right. Until next time, you guys stay blessed.